Good morning and welcome to a beautiful day in Wales. I say that it's a little bit gloomy and grey today, but the view is absolutely amazing from here. But for once, I actually had a really good night's sleep. I did wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, nah, going back to sleep. I don't know if anyone else is like this. I never have set an alarm. Never used an alarm. My body, if I go to sleep knowing what time I have to wake up, my body wakes me up bang on the hour. It's kind of weird like that. But yeah, lovely night's sleep here. We are on the mission, getting ready now to leave. But before we do, I thought I'd go for a little bit of a wander and just make the most of the countryside before we leave. It would be very nice to come back here again with like James and Chloe and Jaff and stuff, because they obviously have this one here, the cabin. Then they have two pods behind there, and they have like a luxury tiny home, and I think it'd be like a really lovely place to stay. It's very quiet, very peaceful. As I've said many times, the views here are stunning, and they've got cows. Who doesn't love a cute cow? This one is actually being very friendly and has walked all the way over to me. Doesn't want to come any closer than this though. No. I don't. What noise do you make to a cow to get it to come over? I think it was expecting food, and now that it realizes that I don't have any, it's gone. But yeah, it's been so nice to have a little bit of a break and just get away from the house. I probably rabbited on about this the other day in a previous vlog, but I think it's probably very important to have a change of scenery, because when I'm at home, even if I take a day off, I still end up working or just doing bits and bobs, and the only thing that really stops me from doing too much on the house is the fact that I realise I should be filming it all, but I still don't really get a day off. So it's been nice to get away, especially before the summer holidays end and the kids go back to school. But I think I will bookmark this place and come back again, and I will most definitely pinch a few ideas for at home. One thing I'm probably going to do before we leave today is take as many pictures and videos of the bathroom and stuff here, because I really like what they've done, and because they've used like plastic panels, PVC paneling, it's something I've never done before, and I plan on doing that at the house. So it's good to see how like a professional has done it in a place, because I've never really seen it outside of like hotels, and give us a few ideas for what to do at home. Something as simple as like the laminate worktop. It's like compact laminate, which is a different type, and the Belfast sink and the taps and stuff. Really good to get ideas. But right, little one, it's time to go. It's time for a big drive. We are actually heading off to the farm today, so I can showcase what we could potentially do down there, but more so to give a bit of an update on the campsite that we're currently building. I say I haven't really participated much in the last couple of months because I've been working on the house and so on, but Mum's making some progress, and she thinks she's getting a lot closer to being done with the toilets, or at least the women's side of the toilets. So as much as I know you're happy, we need to go. Where are you going? Who's that? Not impressed at all. The exposure on the iPhone, bizarre. I think the new one comes out soon, and I might have a look at it and potentially upgrade. I don't know. I don't really like upgrading iPhone year to year because there's very minimal changes usually. But I am due an upgrade on my contract, so we might upgrade the camera and get a slightly better phone. I don't think the exposure is going to be any better, to be honest. I really should. I've got a pocket. It's a DJI pocket camera, and it comes on a gimbal and stuff. It's a really good camera. It's just not as convenient to film when you're out and about doing stuff, and there's a bit more setup. I can't just pick it up and film, whereas this is so handy for that. But yeah, before we leave, this is what I was talking about. This is actually compact laminate, so it's like a thinner worktop, but it's actually slightly more durable than like a laminate worktop. So this would actually be really good for the kitchen, and it complements the Belfast sink, because in a laminate worktop you can't put grooves in the surface, whereas this you can. So you could have like a drainage tray literally built into the surface, and I think we are very set on getting a Belfast sink. I'm pretty sure that is like a guarantee for the kitchen. Whatever else follows that, we're not too sure. Jess actually really likes, well, we both have liked for a long time, this kind of wall. It's like shiplap. It's very American, but I do like the wood. Maybe not necessarily this particular color, but it feels a lot warmer when you've got wood walls. I don't know. I think it might be a lot of work considering the the makeup of the house with it being brick and so on. And we do really want to lean into like the cottage vibe, and I don't think this is very cottage-like. However, the silly little details that I'm talking about in like a bathroom is when you have two PVC panels next to each other. I don't like that you can see a seam. Obviously in this one, they've put like a strip down here. Whereas in the shower, it's like a full big panel. Don't get me wrong, it does look really nice, but I'm just not a huge fan of like all of these essentially buttons on there that are holding the panels to the wall. From my understanding, you can just like get adhesive, cover it in adhesive and stick it to the wall, which Mum has tried. I don't know if it's because she didn't use it enough, but they started warping and coming off the walls, which is a bit of a concern for me. Obviously you want it to be as sealed and watertight as possible, so maybe getting some larger format panels for the bath area itself might be wise. And then maybe we'll go with like half wood and then like wallpaper or paint above that. Very similar to this, just obviously not this color scheme, but I don't know, we need to spend some more time on Pinterest and actually having a proper look around aesthetics and styles for a bathroom, because neither of us really know what we want or how to make it look. And I can, like I said before, I can do the building side of it, and I don't mind like doing that. Like I quite enjoy building it, but in terms of like design, I don't know where to go. Like I'm really bad when you give me like a blank canvas and tell me like, think of something for this room or to draw a picture. That's something I struggle with really badly. But the one thing I am fairly confident about, which I've had a bit of, not negative feedback, but I've had some feedback that it's probably not a good idea, is laminate flooring on the bathroom floor. We have found a laminate that is suitable for bathrooms, and we both really like it. It's not, obviously, it's one option that we've probably seen out of like 5. So we still need to do some shopping around. But a lot of people have been saying like, oh, don't get a wooden worktop, don't get a laminate flooring. You should get like lino flooring that has like a wood effect, or get a laminate wooden worktop instead. But yeah, I don't know. The thing is, I definitely think it is subject to opinion. One thing that James has reiterated, the plumber, with doing things, is that there is going to be 1,000,001 different opinions on how you should do something, and it's just kind of what you want and personal preference. So yeah, we'll do a little bit more research and thinking about the options that we have available, try and narrow them down and then pick something. But all in all, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I quite like it, it's easy, and the original thought process behind getting laminate flooring is that I can lift it up quite easily to access the floorboards below it. But I say that ultimately the chipboard floor that I'm putting down, I have to seal and prime and everything anyway, so it's still going to be a bit of a pain to get underneath the floorboards. So I don't think that is actually a contributing factor that is a benefit to laminate anymore. So it just kind of comes down to personal preference. But right, we are done here. We need to head off and get some breakfast, because one thing we forgot to buy is breakfast. So we need to go out and get some food and head over to my mum's farm. It's most definitely not as good as Sabin's, but it will definitely fill the void. Food consumed, although isn't that meant to be for Lily?
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, Lily's got one down there. Time to hit the road. We have arrived and my back is killing me. It felt like a really long drive, even though it was only like a 2-hour drive, so it wasn't that bad in reality. Kids are actually really good in the back, to be fair. Usually Lily kicks up a fuss. But we are indeed at my mum's farm, and I've come to check on the progress of the toilet trailer, because she thinks she's probably around 90-95% of the way. And from my understanding, floor's gone in. Well, not all the floor, only some of the floor has gone in, but ooh, look at this. This actually looks really nice. You would not think that this is a toilet trailer for a campsite. It's really nice. I actually kind of think that with the floor being like this wooden lino, the worktops being wood, if you stained this, it might actually come up looking quite nice and complement the bottom as well. But it's very nice. Apparently these are all plumbed in this time. So toilets are plumbed in. You press the button, nothing happens. I swear she just said to me that it was all working. Actually, it might not. Is this one full? Can I flush this one? I can flush this toilet. Look at that. Working toilet. It's kind of weird not being able to just walk straight through into the men's anymore, because it's the first time I've actually seen this this particular cubicle all finished. And yeah, you can definitely tell that when there's a door in here and these lights go off, it will get quite dark in this room, so I'm probably going to have to put another sensor in. But yeah, this is looking great. I do suppose it's probably a good job that I didn't do a great deal in terms of plumbing in here, because if I had gone too crazy in plumbing in here, I would have had to fit, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there, 6 and 7 back at home. I would have been all plumbed out in terms of bathrooms. It's the one thing that's nice about not being like a plumber or an electrician or a plasterer or paint decorator is I'm not tied to one thing. I kind of like the fact that I can do bits of everything. Obviously I'm only ever doing my home anyway, but it's nice to be able to mix it up and try something different every day rather than just doing one thing. But yeah, I think once the floor goes in here and through here, add some doors in, it'll actually look really good. That is the next stage for this place. It's like adding the doors in. I am leaning more towards getting spots, I think. I think it just looks nicer. And you can tell in this room just with 2 spotlights, so it's actually quite nice. They actually look oddly placed on the ceiling. However, this one's in the middle, then that one's above the sink. This one's above the sink, middle above the sink. But when you stop and actually look at the ceiling, it kind of looks odd how they're just randomly placed like that. Well, they're not random, are they? I just think that maybe we probably could have got away with having all of them in the middle, like nicely placed on the ceiling, because if you'd put like one here and then one here in the middle there, I don't think it matters if it's directly above the sink, because you could probably put lighting around the mirror anyway. And in this end cubicle, it can only ever go in the middle because of the size of this toilet. And I think it looks much nicer in here. So I think that's probably the only critique, like that's something I fitted as well. So that's probably the only critique I would have about an aesthetic perspective. Otherwise, I think this place is actually looking really good so far. But just to touch on something that I was discussing at the Airbnb, this seam here is something that I'm skeptical about with PVC paneling. There might be a degree of just, it's unavoidable. You can try and fill it and cork it and stuff, but ultimately you're always going to see it because it's never going to be the same shape, like shine, whatever, glossy effect as this particular panel. So it might be a case of having to add those strips on. I can understand why, when you look at that shower, why you go for like a bigger format panel, so you don't have as many seams. So I think that's probably something that we'll have to be patient with and make sure we shop around properly, because I think if it's done right, the less seams there are and like the bigger panels, whilst it might cost ever so slightly more to do that, I think overall aesthetically it won't feel cheap and tacky, whereas PVC I think sometimes can have that effect of it feeling quite cheap. Like if I put tiles in there, tiles feel premium because it's hard, it's solid, and in many ways it's more expensive. But just due to weight and stuff like that, I just think it's going to be better to have PVC paneling. And I think if it's done properly, it can look really nice. There are some other boards I've seen. There's like these concrete like boards that you can get. And they are really nice. However, they are ridiculously expensive. And I think they're equally as heavy. So I'm probably going to have to avoid those. But, you know, we're still shopping around. But after a quick pit stop at the farm, it's time to head back in the car and head back home, where technically it's now the next day, and I can explain. My day kind of fell apart from that point onwards, whether it be taking a long time to drive home. Obviously I spent a lot of the day traveling anyway, so this vlog has become more of a walk and talk type video than it has been any kind of productivity. And I am here now to wrap up the vlog and give you guys a little bit of an update on the future of the videos. As many of you guys know, I have been renovating this house on a pretty much daily basis, and the only reason I've been able to do that is because Jess has been on maternity leave, and then she went and took holiday for the whole of August. So she's been able to like look after Lilia, and then on the days that she did work, I would have Lilia or Benjamin would watch her for a bit so I can get stuff done whilst I had her. The problem is now is as we're heading into September, Jess is going to work Tuesday to Friday, so she can't look after the kids. I will take on responsibility of like doing the school run because Benjamin returns to school or starts school for the new year, and I'll have Lilia every day from like 9 to 5 essentially, which means when I have her, I don't have Benjamin to just watch her for like an hour whilst I do something, and I obviously Jess is working, so she can't look after her, which means I cannot do the house. Now, I have mentioned in a previous vlog that thanks to like a government scheme update thing, there is free childcare for working parents, and we are eligible for that. However, trying to find a nursery was quite challenging. We found one, but there is a bit of a slow process when it comes to admin and securing the days that we need Lilia in nursery to essentially relieve me from having her throughout the day, so I can actually continue with the house, because obviously we can't live out of a caravan and a garage for the foreseeable future, especially considering the caravan goes in a month or so now. So because of the slow admin when it comes to like settling Lilia into nursery, I think we're going to check tomorrow, probably when we can. We're going to give them a call and try and get her booked in for her settling like days. So it's like, I think the first session is like an hour, then the next one is like a couple of hours, and then slowly but surely she can be there on her own with the childcare all good to go, and I don't need to be there to set her in. But for the time being, for the next couple of weeks moving forwards, the vlogs won't, I'm not going to say they won't be daily. Well, they won't be daily, but they'll be kind of staggered and a bit all over the place. So the frequency of my videos is going to go down a little bit. What I'm going to do is after this video, you'll still see a progression of daily videos because I'm obviously ahead of you guys. But I think what will happen is by the end of this week, probably around Sunday, I will post the last daily video, and then I'll go back to doing Wednesdays and Sundays until Lilia is fully settled back at nursery. And then I'll start, as things change, I'll update you guys and things will change, and I'll probably go up to 3 vlogs a week. And then when she's fully in nursery, I'll go back to doing the 6 days, 5 days, whatever it is. But we're in a bit of a weird stage of like turbulence when it comes to how frequently I can record videos, because when I have Lilia, the only stuff I can do is outdoor stuff. I can't take her into the house and do stuff in the house. It's just not a good environment for a baby. So I can strap her on me and I can tidy up bits out here, or I can sort out the wood pile, and I can do outdoorsy things with limitations. So there'll be days where I can get on with for an hour or so, or like maybe Jess has her for like lunchtime. I'll spend the lunchtime hour sorting stuff out and filming bits, compile it all, and then put it into a vlog. So it'll be Wednesdays and Sundays, and maybe one other day in the week, maybe like a Friday, where I'll compile all of my bits and bobs that I get done throughout the week when I can. I'll compile it into a video and I'll post that on Fridays, and then slowly but surely build back up to more regular content again. But for the time being, just know that the vlogs are just going to get a little bit shaky. Now, obviously, I need to continue progressing things in the house. So on the Saturday and Sunday, the weekends, which I have free, they will be fully fledged days of me sorting out the house. And then Mondays I take off because my Monday work day is a bit too crazy. So it's very unlikely that I'll ever get any time or free time to do anything. And that is essentially what we're going to do moving forward. So I'm sorry, I know people have really enjoyed following along daily progress for the last month. And we've had some people say that I shouldn't vlog as much because I need to take breaks. And there's been people saying that they really like follow along every day and tuning in. And I'm very passionate about being consistent and keeping up regular content, whether that is daily or, my 2-3 days a week, whatever it is. So it's one of those. It's a little bit disappointing, but ultimately the kids come first. And whilst it is obviously important for me to sort the house out for my family, Lilia needs me during the days throughout the week. So it's just one of those, unfortunately. I'm trying not to stress too much about it. And when it's coming to the house, I am in a weird space of like rushing things because I'm stressing because I need to get stuff done. But I'm on the other hand, like on the other side of the coin, I'm like, I need to take my time with it because what I do in there is meant to be to last for however long, you know, so many years, that I don't want to rush it and make a mistake. So yeah, I'm gonna just try my best to not go too crazy with the house and just get what I can do as it comes. And thankfully, we've been so lucky to have friends help us do the garden and do bits in the house. And you never know, people might come, like James, for example, might come down again for a weekend and help me out. Or we've got other friends that will come down and help me do more stuff in the house, so I can have a more productive day rather than just trying to tackle it all by myself. But I hope that update makes a little bit more sense. I'm sure, as always, you guys will be heavily understanding of this situation. It's not something that I'm like really annoyed about because, you know, we have kids. This is what life is like, you know what I mean? So I'm not too stressed about it. If anything, it'll be nice to have a little bit of a break to process and really think about what I'm doing with my days off, because for the most part I'm just childminding Lily, and I'm just spending my days with Lily, so I can sit down and actually think about exactly how I want to do things. So when it comes to the days of actually doing stuff on the house, I know exactly what I'm doing and what steps I need to take to get things done in that day. So it could be a good thing. It has been fun posting the 31 vlogs, like daily, like a month of daily videos. It's shown me from like an analytical perspective that there is definitely an audience there for that, give or take some ebbs and flows with numbers. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're a bit lower, but I kind of stubbed that down to the fact that it's YouTube's thumbnail and title malarkey that's really annoying. If you don't have a good thumbnail title, people just don't click on the video. So it's one of those. For a bit of clarity on today's vlog and why it kind of fell apart, my dad, for the most part, kind of appeared out of nowhere, and we went out for had a big family get together and went out for dinner and went out for some drinks and stuff, and that just, like, my whole evening just kind of fell apart. So that's why I haven't filmed as much today. So I'm sorry that today's vlog has been another one of those just like hang out and chat, but this is probably an important update to put now before things do change, because I'm struggling to find a day where I can actually do a video like this. So yeah, one of those. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video and have enjoyed the last month of semi-daily videos. Hopefully Lilia gets all settled into nursery in a couple of weeks, and it's only like a temporary 2-week thing where I am only posting 3 days or whatever it is, and then we can go back to how things are towards the end of September, probably around my birthday, actually, because my birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks. I literally just think, when is my birthday? It's the 14th of September, so I've got 2 weeks until my birthday, where I don't think I'm doing anything. I'm literally just going to be doing more stuff for the house. I'm sure anyone who can appreciate who gets older, you don't really tend to do anything for your birthday. So anyways, I'm going to wrap up today's vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. The support up to this point has been absolutely astronomical. Like, it's hard to put into words how grateful I am for people who have just tuned into the videos, left regular comments, gone out of their way to give advice and support me with the things that I'm doing, stepped it up even further than that to go to the GoFundMe and contribute, or head over to the Patreon to not only get vlogs early, that is a great benefit, but to support me and my family with that, like, financial aspect of the extra step of being like a Patreon member / subscriber. I know it gets a bit weird with subscribers because that's what you call on YouTube, but yeah, I'm very grateful. So stay tuned. We will continue with the house project, and there is still so much stuff to come, and maybe the videos from this point onwards will be a bit more jam-packed of actual progression rather than some days where I'm meandering, is that the right word? Around not really doing a great deal, like today. But we'll see how things go. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace, much love, bye bye.